What would you say is the difference between expectations versus intentions? The way I view it is expectations are usually about other people and how they should behave or treat me or what they should be doing, versus intention is about me and where I'm directing my mind and my heart, what's actually within my control. So today we're going to talk a little bit about creating a morning kavana, a morning intention for the day. You know, we can walk into an office or a new job or into a relationship or a family gathering with all different types of expectations of what people should say to us and how they should treat us and what type of jokes they should make and shouldn't make. And just we get so caught up in our expectations of other people or even other experiences. Let's say you plan for an amazing trip and then you get there and it falls short of our expectations. So living a life full of expectations could also make us feel like we're living life as a victim. Because then other people always have us as their prisoner. Because they didn't live up to our expectations, so we're let down. Or an experience didn't live up to our expectations, and so we're let down. So we're just a prisoner. Our emotions are within this prison of if the world behaves the way we think it should or not. Versus living in a way of intention is a way of freedom because we are always in control of our intention, and if we slip up, we can get right back on track. So in Hebrew, the word kavana is a beautiful word. It's a nice name. And it literally means kivun, a direction, focus, consciousness, focus, intention, a clear direction of which way you're going. So we're going to talk about this idea of directing our mind and directing our heart. So one of the first things we do in the morning is we say the blessing of thanking Hashem, the source of everything, the master of this masterpiece, for the ability for he who clothes the naked. Blessed are you, Hashem, our God, King of the universe, Malbish Aramim, who clothes the naked. And so, of course, it's talking about our physical clothing and also the fact that we're able to put it on by ourselves. So many people need help, and just the dignity of having beautiful, nice, fresh clothing. And there's also a deeper Hasidic element that I like to think about. And that is that we talk about in Hasidus that our soul has three garments. Our neshama has gimel levushim. And why are they called garments? Because just as a garment comes on or off, a hat comes on or off, it's not who we are. It's not our essence. It's an expression of who we are, right? Everyone's clothing is always a different fashion statement of who they are on the inside. You know, like clothing really, it can be a huge form of expression. If you wear all black, it's okay. I'm sure you have a beautiful soul. Anyways, but the idea that it comes on and off. So it's not us, but it is an expression of who we are. So too, our soul has these garments. What are these three garments, you might be wondering? They are thought, machshava, speech, dibor, and action, maisa. Thought, speech, and action. So thought is the closest garment to the soul. It's like the t-shirt. Speech is the next closest. It's like a sweater. And action's like the jacket, meaning they're more removed from the soul. If you ever noticed, you never stop thinking. Even if you're dreaming, you're still thinking. And the reason why is because it's such an inner garment to the soul that has so much power that it just goes and goes and goes. And speech, unless you're me, it actually does cease sometimes. It's less removed from the power of the soul. And then actions can be even less. So those are expressions of the soul. And so in the morning, when we say clothes the naked, we're also talking about Hashem clothing our soul. That Hashem doesn't leave our soul bare without a form of expression. It gives our soul in this body thought, speech, and action. So to be able to have modes of expression. And so something I like to do in the morning is when I say this blessing, I go through my thoughts, my speech, and my action. And I think one positive thought, I say one positive thing to myself, and I think of something good I'm positive I'm going to do that day. And to add an extra level of this idea of kavana, of intention, is to really take that time to set our intention for what our thoughts are going to look like that day. I mean, I can't control how other people are going to act and what the news is going to say and the weather's going to be. I can't. And if I try, I'm just going to be exhausted. But I can set an intention for how I want my thoughts to be that day. Meaning, I want my thoughts to be positive. I want my thoughts to be judging favorably. I want to really focus my mind and my attention, finding the good in other people, finding the good within myself. I want to keep my thoughts Torah-based, a realm of holiness versus getting caught up in so many other things. Right? And setting the intention for my mind on a daily basis, like kivun, that's direction. And then setting the intention for my speech. You know, trying to talk a little slower, a little calmer, giving myself more time to really think before I speak. Make sure that's really an expression of my soul, of my godly soul versus my animal soul. Setting the intention of I want my words to be something that other people can receive, not something that's going to hurt them and be too harsh for them or too intense, but something that some of my words, to let them be something that my husband can receive, my family can receive. And of course that my words should be kind and they should be gentle. And that my words should be true. And so sometimes I'll write this out, sometimes I'll just say it to myself and to Hashem. And then of course actions. What do I want these hands to be busy with? I've been blessed with 2 beautiful, amazing hands, and what do I want to do with them today? Yeah, and the way I want to do them. Meaning there's a way in which I could, make breakfast in a rush. I could do it with love and intention and really let my hands be a vessel for really putting intention into things today. And so taking the time to set that kivun, that direction, that consciousness for the day of how we want to go into the world, and dropping the expectations and focusing more on our intention for our mind, our heart, and our actions. Our mind, our speech, and our actions. And then we'll be surprised by how other people show up in our space in a whole other way. Meaning when we have expectations of people, they're kind of trapped in this box. But when we drop it and focus on ourselves, now there's no box, and people can be as creative and free to surprise us in the most amazing of ways. Have a beautiful day.